Hello there, and welcome to another lovely day here at ZSR2. We got a match going on.
Yeah, we are about to start with RidleyDragon versus relkin. I don't know too much about these players. Relkin I've seen around in races for a little while. I don't know that I've ever seen RidleyDragon in a race. This is a round one match. I don't know their seeds exactly, but the winner of this will face Violet Pumpkin, the 12 seed in round 2. And it looks like we have started the countdown for the race, so we will be off in a moment here. So there are a couple different openings players like to use. The most popular one, I believe, is fake flippering to the witch's hut. Check the entrance there. Fake flipper over to the drop, the ferry east of the sanctuary, and then Houlihan in there for 225 rupees, both to buy bombs and check the bottle vendor when you get to Kakariko. Alright, we've got the hammer right away in Link's house. We're seeing relkin do one of the other opens. He'll go to Uncle. I thought he'd grab a sign, but I think with the hammer, he will just hammer these guards. That'll set up the pull tier. Yep, there's a hammer. We've got the sanctuary at the Lost Words hideout, so we get an immediate mushroom check, and as soon as we get bombs, we'll want to save and quit and check the bottom of escape. We've got the magic bat at the secret passage. Okay, so RidleyDragon immediately finds blind set. This is a bit awkward to go into with no bombs. He's going to really hope for some bombs in one of these chests so he doesn't have to orphan this. Meanwhile, relkin has found Spyro Cave. This can be very awkward to go through early with low hearts. He has the hammer. That is not the best weapon for mini mold arms. But he gets through it. And Ridley strikes out on bombs in the chest, so he will have to come back to blindside for this last chest. And that is at the Lost Woods log. Alright, so we see the spiral cave at the front of the castle exits at the floating island. That is a very valuable exit. relkin finds Pod. He can Dungeon Bunny Revive. As if he takes a death, he will become Link. There's a mini Helmosaur up to the left. He can get hit by twice. So I imagine he'll get at least this first chest. Probably the only thing he will be able to get. Right, so I missed over on the right side here what Ridley'd found at the lumberjack exits. So relkin gets this first wow. So that is a sequence broken glove. That is a valuable find early. That makes several portions of the light world more appealing to go to. You won't have to orphan an entrance when you get there. And he will also farm bombs out of the front of Pod. Pod is a nice entrance to find early because it's got all these bomb pots. That's one of the things you're looking for. He's thinking about saving and quitting, but he will drop down to check these entrances. Yeah, I'm not sure this is worth the time to go back into Dungeon Bunny Revive yet again, but he's doing it. He can get 4 bombs each time. So we saw the chicken hut there in Kakariko with nothing of interest. Alright, that is a hint that RidleyDragon found. I don't know if he knows that's a hint. You can buy hint from several Dark World NPCs for 20 rupees. He did not do that. And he finds Ganon at the well, and he just dropped straight to him. That's part of why you usually want to check entrances, check the front of drops before you fall down there. I think we saw Bombos required for Turtle Rock. So RidleyDragon has to save and quit and walk back out. Bottom of Spectacle Rock at the mountain and the rare shop next door. So Relkin still hasn't started at Sanctuary. He's starting at Link's house again for something. Ridley is going back to Blind's hut now with bombs. So Relkin may be optioning into this most popular opening I was talking about, where he's going to fake flipper to the witch's hut, but with a glove going south and doing something that isn't all that unreasonable now either. But no, looks like, yeah, he's going for the fake flipper. And RidleyDragon will drop to the back of Escape, and we'll get these 3 chests. So we see a useless cave at the witch's hut, not much of interest. The cape is a little bit interesting. In the back of Escape, that will get us through a connector either way. That'll get us through the bumper cave in either direction. The hook shot will actually get you through in one of the directions, going backwards. So RidleyDragon is walking out of Escape. This is, I don't think, faster than just saving and quitting. Relkin finds the well at the ferry drop. This is one of the things you are looking for early in the game. You want to find this 5-item cave, and you know the limited number of places it can be. There are 8 drops in total, 7 in the light world. You want to find Ganon and find the well. And it pays out today. It's got the mirror in the first chest. The mirror, I think, is maybe the most valuable item in this mode. It allows you to clear both worlds in tandem relatively efficiently. Once you get the mirror, I would think most players will want to be more aggressive about taking connectors. All right, so we saw Desert Final there in the East Snitch's hut. It is popular to steal a key and then possibly save scum it when you find Desert Right. We've got Bombos in Kakariko, and we've got a small key in the Sanctuary drop. And Relkin having those sequence broken gloves out of Pod on Dark Death Mountain will get that right away. And it is the Swamp Small Key. That's one of the ones you can be looking for quite a while. We also have the Bug Net in Kakariko. I think that was the bottle vendor. And we've got Aghanim's Tower. This will not be required for an item at the Lumberjack drop. As I've been told, the Lumberjack drop is a useless ferry. But there are 2 chests in there. We will need one of the 2 keys to get to the back. And we've got Sahasrara. I think this is also behind... Yep. There are the flippers. So... Relkin's early advantage with this glove is amplified now. He's got 2 items sequence broken that are behind the pearl. a hospital behind a rock at the normal Old Man Rescue entrance. Yeah, that confirms the useless fairy at the Lumberjack Rock. And we've got the uncle at the Magic Bat. So I don't think... Yeah, RidleyDragon still has not save and quit and started at Link's house, so he's still down that hammer. So Relkin's going to gain a little bit of time here, being able to go once through Blind's hut and also have the mirror to mirror block a race. Yeah, one of our trackers is pointing out that between the two of these, we've now seen all the drops, and we know that the pyramid drop is the Lumberjack, so that is a single item locked behind Aghanim 2. You see Spectacle Rock front there at the front of the bar, and I think that was a useless item. I think I saw a heart container. Bottom of Paradox Cave at the bombable hut. So when Relkin gets here, he will have the mirror right away. He will be able to clear this. RidleyDragon does not. That mirror is in the well at the fairy drop near the witch's hut. Big key to Eastern. I did not remember that being in the bottom of the escape. That is nice. That makes going into Eastern early, I would say, significantly more appealing, although it does tempt you to try to wait for the bow to full clear it once you find it. So Ridley is in desert somewhere. This, I think, is at the library. Alright, so we get a hint that the magic bat does not lead to anything useful. Relkin almost forgets this fortune teller here north of Kakariko. This is an entrance that is popular to forget. We see the ocarina there in the map chest in desert, the freely available chest in desert. So we see the exit at Desert Right leads to the bombable hut in Village of Outcasts. Ridley's going to have to, if he wants to check the front, he's actually going to have to death warp here to get a link state because he cannot lift the pots. Relkin will show us this hint that RidleyDragon skipped. That is a very valuable hint. He's also going to show us that there are 2 bombs back here. So when you find this entrance, you can spend a bomb to get 2 bombs and go up by 1 bomb. I don't see a lot of people do that unless they're low, but it looks like he's actually going to farm a few times. So RidleyDragon will not have that hint that the Ice Palace big chest is useless. That could affect his interest in going into Ice Palace early. So that's a pretty big advantage for Relkin here. And Relkin's early game advantages are kind of stacking up at this point. No, nothing RidleyDragon gets out of Desert is out of logic, because there are 2 of those entrances on the Light World. missed that. We had the smiths at the chicken hut. So Relkin is now headed for Paradox Cave. He will be able to get the 7 items by using the mirror block erase glitch on this block. This is not in logic to erase that block with the mirror. So this is out of logic so far. So Ridley's headed back through desert to what I believe is the library entrance. He will finish off the south of Kakariko screens. Got the Turtle Rock Big Key, the Ice Rod, a map. So Relkin continues to build an early game advantage here by being able to single dip a lot of entrances and get earlier items. We've got a big key at the race game. So Spectacle Rock, Relkin actually knows where this ends up, so he's not going to be tempted to take that drop. That ends up on East Death Mountain, Dark East Death Mountain. As our tracker points out, Ridley has still not started at Link's house for that hammer. So he does not have a meaningful early game weapon here. You see Relkin go into Aga Tower. He has this hammer. Not the best weapon for these ball and chain guards, but he'll be able to get this first chest that Ridley could not. Meanwhile, Ridley is activating the flute here. So Ridley's going to flute somewhere. Perhaps to Link's house. So he finally gets this hammer about 16 minutes after Relkin. Heart piece doesn't hurt early. Relkin is going to steal the key, as I suggested some players like to do. So what he can do is when he finds desert, which he will shortly, he can die, save and quit, and then use that key. And if right side has nothing, he can reset to save that key. So he can save scum the key. We've got Laser Bridge down here at the dam. And Ridley opts out of doing anything with that. He's probably not confident in his laser skips without the boots and doesn't really have magic to use his cape. It is a very valuable skill in cross keys to be able to do that laser skip. You want to be able to get those 4 items as soon as you find that entrance. So Ridley now deciding where to go. He has no glove. He doesn't have that sequence broken glove, so heading over to the eastern area is fairly appealing because nothing over there really requires the glove. Desert left. Relkin's going to dive straight in rather than trying to defer it. Ridley's going to get the 2 items out of the top of Super Brenda Cave. He should also get a magic refill that may send him back to the laser bridge to use his cape. If he knows about the refill. So he does not get the magic refill. Yeah, it's in the pot just below those two chests. We have nothing on Lake Hyla Island. And Relkin does not continue through desert. I'm suspicious that he will death warp in there to save scum the key, as I suggested. So Ridley now continues to the eastern area, and Relkin walking out suggests that he is indeed doing that. He's going to die here or not. He will walk right by. Oh, he has the flute. He's going to go activate that. So Ridley a little indecisive there about what he wanted to do, but heads now to Death Mountain. We've got the bomb shop at the Flute 1 entrance. If you talk to the NPC, he will actually tell you which two dungeons are the red crystals, so that's an important bit of information that Ridley did not get there. He sees the bottom of Super Bunny Cave. He just got the items out of the top. And he dies to falling rock there. Right, so now Relkin is going to go into desert, probably die, probably check the right side, and reset if there's nothing in there. Walk right into the BMOS. So Relkin's going to head up here to the castle. This is the Magic Bat at the Secret Passage and Spiral Cave at Castle Center. That led Relkin to his early sequence broken glove. We'll see if RidleyDragon does that. So here comes the right side of desert. Ridley is heading to the drop rather than checking the front. I guess I missed something there, and Relkin does indeed reset after getting nothing out of the right side of Desert Palace. Ridley is in Spiral Cave. He will attempt it. He has more hearts. We see Swamp and Thieves are our red crystals. We have the Swamp small key from somewhere early. It may be Relkin actually sequence broke for that in a way that Ridley does not have. Might have been on Dark Death Mountain. So Relkin finds the bottom of Super Bunny Cave before the top, and he shows us that full magic pot. So he'll go through and end up just north of Lake Hylia. We'll see if Ridley knows to Dungeon Bunny Revive here. Yeah, so he does not. Nope. Maybe he does. So unfortunately he does not, and he's going to miss that glove that Relkin got early. And Relkin, with his sequence broken flippers, is going to swim around for something. So there's nothing more here on East Dark Death Mountain. Alright, so Relkin finds the Turtle Rock Big Chest. He has the Turtle Rock Big Key. You can do a bomb jump here. So he can get this. He will not continue, not even to the Crystal Roller Room. I think that is a mistake. Only takes the big key to get back there. Ridley, it looks like, does not recognize the Spectacle Rock drop. There's nothing in here for him. And exiting isn't going to get him anywhere. So Relkin continues on to the Hobo after getting only the Turtle Rock Big Chest. He could also have gone to the... Wow. And there is the Moon Pearl at the Hobo. So that's going to mean that there is another pair of gloves somewhere in the light world, and that those gloves in Pod were actually meant to be the mitts, because those are pearl locked. And the flippers were... Well, maybe not necessarily. It's possible that you could meant to be exit a connector that exit at the bumper cave bottom and then mirror to get to that entrance where the flippers were. We've got the laser bridge there on RidleyDragon side at the back of the old man. Not laser bridge, laser wall entrance. No, I believe the mirror was free in the Kakariko Well at the ferry drop. And Ridley finds Hookshot Cave here at the Death Mountain Descent entrance. And Hookshot Cave also connects to Eastern. So Ridley will go back through. Relkin will farm some money here and talk to the NPC on accident. It's 50 rupees a piece. I'm not sure I'd have done this with Relkin's rupee count. I think he's just fine and should probably count on finding more later. And so this is Flute 5. He's going straight into the Dark World. This is recommended as soon as you have the Pearl and Mirror. Because you can walk around the Dark World and just mirror to the Light World entrances. You've got crystals at Pod and Turtle Rock. So Relkin should be able to mirror and check Sahasrarla's hut and Eastern. So Ridley found a dark room there on West Death Mountain that is very likely to be the Old Man Rescue, because the exit to the Old Man Rescue must be on West Death Mountain, and that is, I believe, the only dark room he's seen and only cave that is dark that he's seen. So it could be a different dark room, and that the Old Man Rescue is actually at the Hera entrance, but that's unlikely. So knowing the Old Man Rescue in the dark is valuable. So he's going to both miss that item. Yeah, so one of our trackers minded me is pointing out that if you can hear bats when you exit that dark room, it's probably going to be the Old Man Rescue. There's actually a second entrance, the back of the Old Man Save Warp, where you can hear bats when you exit. So there are 5 dark entrances in total, and only 2 of them will you hear bats from when you exit. So it's even more likely now to be the Old Man Rescue. So Ridley should be headed here for the Kakariko Well, and he will get his mirror. we have Hype Cave at Dark Sahasra. This is an entrance that can be forgotten by new players. We've got a bottle and a glove so far. And that is a couple fetch quests there, and then a map, which is not useless. Alright, so this is Dark Sahasra, and he tells us what Light Sahasra has. It's not a useful item. And we see another dark room here. Relkin will not even try to identify it, I don't think. I don't have his audio. But one of the things you can do is you can walk around in those caves and try to identify it. He would like to continue his overworld route here with the mirror. He wants to check the pyramid item and probably mirror on top of the pyramid. He has the cape, so he can check all 3 entrances at the top. At the top of the castle once he mirrors. Ridley is going to take his mirror and hammer and head up to Hera and then probably East Death Mountain. He will check these dark entrances on the way. One of them is Sick Kid. It is Relkin, not Ridley, that has the bottle. So we have 300 rupees on the pyramid. Not especially interesting, but... Alright, so Ridley finds Ice Rod Cave. I'm not sure if he actually set up Super Bunny, but you can Super Bunny into this cave and open the chest. That involves using the mirror on the same frame as you hit the transition to enter the cave. And there's a relatively easy setup where you hold horizontal in the doorway and then diagonal such that you're facing horizontal while you walk up into the doorway. And that will set you on the pixel nearest the transition, so then you just need to press up and Y on the same frame to get the Super Bunny glitch. Ridley does not do the Super Bunny glitch, though. So we saw... So there was something interesting in the center of the castle, but I didn't see it, but Relkin spent too much time there for it to be nothing. Right, yeah, I did see that. I just forgot. So it's Mothula's entrance there at the center of the castle, and we've got Agnes Cave, it looks like, at Hera. And we also see from Relkin's side that Skullwoods is a crystal. Yeah, so Relkin, with his glove, will be able to continue to catfish here. He will check the Dark Potion Shop, hopefully. Another entrance that can be forgotten by new players. And unfortunately, it looks like RidleyDragon died there on East Death Mountain, so he did not check any entrances there. Okay, so I missed it, but our tracker says we have the bow on Floating Island. The Floating Island was the bottom of Spiral Cave, and Relkin has the mirror to be able to get that. He also has the lamp now from Catfish. And with the flippers, he can complete his route here by mirroring and doing the Zora area with the waterfall. We've got Hyrule Castle here. I don't think we've found an entrance to that otherwise yet. So he can go to the bottom of Escape here, and with his newly found lamp, we'll have an easy time getting the sewers chest. I mean, presumably have an easy time. Got the desert big key there in the map chest and escape. Little bit of indecision here from RidleyDragon. Yeah, he's rechecking an entrance he's already been in. Yeah, so he's running low on things to do without the glove. The Turtle Rock laser bridge is in logic here, so that's at the dam, not this entrance. So Ridley's returning to Death Mountain here where he died. There are a couple of things I'm not sure he's done, but he may be low on ideas here. I'm not sure he has been to the Ice Rod Cave area. I'm not sure he's been... I think I saw him do Agnes Cave. Alright, so Relkin hasn't gotten anything interesting out of Escape beyond that Desert Big Key, I don't think. Our tracker has suggested an option for what Ridley is doing, which is remembering where Spiral Cave is. Spiral Cave is actually at the front of Castle. Relkin, meanwhile, has spotted the fire rod on Zora's Ledge. I see Zora's item here. Relkin, what are you doing? You have the flippers. I'm not sure what Relkin was thinking there. He saw the fire rod on Zora Ledge. I think maybe he just completely blanked. That could be really bad if he's somehow forgotten what that item was. So Relkin is going to identify the front of desert here. He may be... I don't think he's actually exited the right side, so he may be tempted to do that. I would have gone and picked up that rock first. Oh, he also now has the big key. So he'll grab that and mirror, it looks like. Alright, so the desert big key was an escape. So that glove is accessible. That is probably meant to be our power glove. To get the flippers from Sahasrara, to get the pearl at Hobo. Actually, The only entrance we know to Hyrule Castle is flipper locked, so that's not necessarily the case. We do not know what our logical sequence is to either of our gloves and anything they lock so far. Yeah, so Relkin actually forgot to pick up the rock there near the desert. That's not good. At least he remembers the fire rod that he saved and quit away from. Oh, this might be what Ridley was looking for, the bottom of Paradox Cave with the mirror. So there was an ice rod and something else interesting in here. So Relkin's now going to find Laser Bridge. That's the big key to Turtle Rock. That was the other interesting thing. Relkin's going to try to hammer this red guy. Not going to work out the first time around. There are a couple ways to deal with that guy. One thing you can do is set a bomb and throw it as soon as you walk in the door, and then sort of walk to left. That'll instantly send that guy down the pit. He's going to cape by him, though, the first time at least. The way he's going, though, he's going to run out of magic, so he's going to have to do at least one laser skip, I think, or just tank one. So he gets all the items there out of Laser Bridge. It was nothing interesting. I think I might have seen a big key there. Don't have Samaria to do this, Relkin. He does have the fire rod and ice rod, though, and that's what he's thinking about. Yeah, right, boots. Good luck with that. So Relkin's going to insist on confirming that he cannot get to Trinex. He may be realizing it right now. Nope, not yet. We'll get there. And menu to Samaria. Oops. So we at least got the magic pot before leaving. Yeah, I think he realized he may have wanted magic refill all along. That might be correct. And Ridley is going to Dungeon Bunny Revive here in Desert to find the deserts, to get to the Desert Central entrance. And Relkin now remembers to pick up the rock, which is good because it's Swamp Palace. This is one of our red crystals, I believe. We are actually getting pretty close to full knowledge of our crystals. It looks like we have 6 marked on the tracker. So it is down to Ice and Eastern for our last crystal. Relkin now headed to the mire area. I think we saw a big key on the desert ledge, so he's going to want that. We find Ice Palace here. Ganon's Tower. Okay, well. We didn't know Meyer. And that is confirmed now that must now be one of the pendants, given that it's at Ganon's Tower. That's going to actually make this seed a little bit quicker than usual. It's a full dungeon that we're never going to go into. At least, assuming we're not looking for a sword when we have 7 crystals. Ridley unfortunately dies at the bottom of Spiral Cave going for that bow. I suspect he'll go straight back for it, though. Relkin, meanwhile, is in the first Pengetter's room here on Ice. There are a couple strats for this that make it easy. Relkin is improvising this, so he must not know them. He gets it, though. So now he's low on hearts. Yeah, I thought he might do that. He will not continue, despite technically being able to full clear Ice. I believe he has a hint that the the big chest is nothing, so he can go in there with full confidence that he's not going to skip an item, but he is too low on resources to want to do that. A sword would be nice. Ridley is now going to successfully get his bow. Relkin has found the dam at Desert Final. And Relkin's going to get what I thought was, a big key. To Skullwood's not the most interesting big key. Ridley finds a connector here at the top of Paradox Cave. It exits at the race game. The race game had something, I believe, a big key, so this is a valuable find. Yeah, there it is. Got the restock room at Checkerboard Cave. Hera big key there at the race game. Alright, we've got Ganon's Tower at the Dark Agana Cave. Relkin has the hammer. So technically he can go down the left side. He's got several keys, which puts it in logic. You need to know some bomb jumps to be able to do that, though. He's not even going to do the simple ones, though, to the Stalfos room. Meanwhile, Ridley has a credible weapon and has found Mini Moldorm Cave here on East Death Mountain somewhere. Didn't see. I think this is the drop where you would mirror the spiral exit. So he's dropped down the left side, which is not usually recommended. Usually you want to drop down the center for the ferry exits. And he finds the boots. So that will give him a speed advantage that, let's see where, that is indeed the spiral exit. So, and he does not remember he has boots, he is not dashing. Relkin does not have a sword. Oh, but he's setting up to mirror to the front of Desert. He will take a heal. He may be intending to do those bomb jumps to the left side of Ganon's Tower that I was talking about. Nope. He will flute away. So it looks like he is now intending to follow Ridley's path here. I don't think... okay, fair enough, yeah. He has a fire rod now. Killing this pokey for the key is easy with the fire rod. So now he probably intends to go backwards, get the lava chest and the chain chomp chest. The chain chomp chest is in logic. As soon as you have a weapon to... actually, it's in logic right away. I think you don't need anything to get to it. As soon as you find this entrance in logic. This lava chest is not in logic without all 4 of the Turtle Rock small keys, but that doesn't usually stop people. Usually, for the sake of efficiency, you want to kill this pokey and... Alright, so I did not... Alright, so I missed where the bumper cave exit. Alright, yeah, so it was the bumper ledge, and you can and should mirror for an entrance there. But he failed to do that. So that's an entrance he could be missing for quite a while. We get the castle left at the Bonk Rocks. I believe this puts our Desert Big Key in logic in the light world. So as I was saying, with that chain to our first glove, we have a glove in the Desert Big Chest, and the Desert Big Key is here. Yeah, and the flute, hammer, and mirror were all in Sphere 1. So that puts our flippers and thus Pearl into logic, and for that matter, our second glove. So that is probably the intended path to the glove. Or Pearl. More importantly, the Pearl. And Roken's also going to do this Crystal Roller Room, which he opted out of earlier. So it doesn't get anything interesting out of there. Roken has actually not been to these entrances yet. I believe he knows that this exits at Eastern. I believe he has seen the other side of this. He should have, I think. Because he mirrored, but he's just going to open it. Yeah. So he's seen it, going to just open it, though. He will continue up East F Mountain. Although he's going to get the boots later than Ridley. It won't be that much later, and his early sequencing is still going to have him in a significant lead. He's also going to find this sick kid here on Dark Death Mountain, and he will have a bottle to check him the first time. So we see the... yeah, so that's a mostly useless hint. We see Hyrule Center exits at Desert Right, so that's not an entrance to the castle that's in logic, ever. So Ridley does not have the lamp. He will not attempt to continue to the Dark Cross. It was nothing, but he won't do it. And we get confirmation here with the Relkin's lamp that this is the Old Man Rescue. He will get this item, Relkin that is, and be able to have the save warp, which is extremely valuable in entrance. That can be anywhere. It can even be unique, so it can be your only way to, for example, to the Mimic Ledge. Small key to pod, that is not useless. Broken, you've already been in there. Alright, so Ridley is now going to take his shot at... yeah, arrows. Regular arrows do not work on the red guys. Red beetles. He's going to take 4 hammer hits. He's going to do it with a cape. There was, I don't believe, anything interesting here. Yeah, and Ridley's going to run out of magic, it looks like. So to decide what he wants to do here. He has boots, so he can do that version of the laser skip. That's too low. You see a sick kid check here. And so sick kid is nothing of interest. There we go. So at least he clears out the laser bridge. So right now Ridley needs to get to... What does he need? He needs to get into desert for a vanilla power glove. And then he needs to take that to the regular bottom of Old Man Rescue for Sahasla where the flippers are. And he needs to take those to the hobo for his Moon Pearl. I need to step away for just 1 minute.
Then I guess I can come in for just a moment and attempt to give my observations on what we've got going on, which is going to be fairly minimal. Ridley going over to the Dark World, Relkin mirroring over at Spectacle Rock. Relkin finding Old Man Hut, or Cave, or... Pardon my lack of knowledge on the names of all of the things. Just finding a heart piece there, though. Ridley heading eastwards on Death Mountain.
Alright, so Ridley finds one end of the quarreling brothers. I'll be able to see the other side here. Okay, that is the East Ferry, which I recommend dropping to. And he finds the hammer, Hera here. He's the one that has the Hera Big Key. Although I believe this is what Relkin's about to get here at the race game. So I think they're both going to find Hera and both be able to at least beat the boss. We know from Relkin that this is the green pendant. Somewhere along the way, we have full crystal knowledge now. Relkin already has his mitts and hammer. He'll be able to get to the top of Turtle Rock. He has 2 medallions. I don't know if we know the requirement, but he has it. He doesn't have a sword to open it, though. Yeah, we did know that. So we're going to get nothing under the rock here. Relkin... He should go into pod. He's got some pod keys. How many pod keys does he have? Oh, and he drops down, for my money, the wrong side of the drop there. Oh, we apparently have a hint that Turtle Rock Main is nothing anyway. So Relkin finds Mini Moldorm Cave. This is going to be his boots. Not long enough after Ridley for Ridley to gain a significant advantage from it, really. Looks like Relkin accidentally exited Mini Moldorm Cave after killing 3 of them rather. All but one. And Ridley takes on Moldorm. I believe we have a hint that Sahasrarla was nothing. Relkin, I think, has that hint. So Ridley's not going to gain any advantage from being able to check the green pendant when he finds Sahasrarla for the first time. Relkin will never make that trip back knowing that it's nothing. And Relkin's going to join him here in Hera. So Ridley now gets Moldorm down. I don't think he has the information this is a green pendant yet. So nothing interesting in here, I don't think we saw. Yeah, I think Relkin failed to mirror at the top of East Death Mountain. I'm not sure he has seen that the bow is there. Although, I don't know, he has to have seen it walking by. Alright, so Ridley now finally going to the Ice Rod Cave area. Yeah, so hint wasn't useful, chests weren't useful, we got nothing out of Hera. So Ridley, I guess, is heading over to the Bonk Rocks here. He's running out of options other than going back to desert for those gloves. Meanwhile, with the boots, the going down the left side of Ganon's tower becomes significantly more appealing for Relkin. He will only have to do a couple bomb jumps to get all the way to Ice Armos. I think he'll want to grab the bow first, of course. He doesn't have anything really to make that fight interesting, or fun, rather. So Relkin's going to go through Bumper Cave and probably mirror at the top to show us what Ridley skipped. So this might be the right course for Ridley here, going to desert. Yep, so he should get his power glove here. Okay, so this is a pretty big artifact for Ridley. It is eastern at the top of Bumper Ledge. Relkin is not going to go through it. He knows where the bow is, so he can get that and single dip this later. He may be headed... Yeah, I think I would have continued through the Dark World, maybe gone over for a couple entrances, but he's going straight for the bow so he can come back in full clear eastern. Alright, so Ridley's going to check this single rock here. Fortunately, this is not the rock he needs to check. So nothing of interest in the Ice Rod Cave area. He's going to get the other rock here. This is going to be the Swamp Palace entrance. Good to know, but not what he needs right away. Maybe this is a hint I missed. Yeah, there we go. Game of skill. So that's the arrow game. Alright, so Relkin can now drop down again. He'll drop down the center here, and this will be the Quarreling Brothers. Where did this exit? Nearby, he's not going to be interested. This will be the Fortune Teller in the Dark World. And now Ridley is headed to the right rock. No, you don't want to do this, Relkin. Oh, he might as well. Okay, yeah, so there is the risk that the Skull Woods area is a sort of soft lock arrangement where the connector connects between the two front entrances, and you must drop to get to the back at all, and save and quit or mirror to even get out of the area. So he will go once through here and not worry about having to save and quit, given that he knows he could come back, or he knows he will be back after going through the bumper cave to get to Eastern. I think this is the kind of thing that I would have wanted to do before going straight for that bow. I think that would have been a little more efficient overworld routing. Ridley is back on track, though. He's got his flippers, so that gives him logical access to the Zora area and the Hobo, where his Moon Pearl is. Could be his first check to go do that. Alright, so we've got a big key at the Skullwoods Final, Thieves Town. That is a required big key. So the fire rod is on Zora's Ledge. Ridley is really going to hope to get that before he goes to the Skullwoods area. He doesn't want to orphan that entrance with a required item. Alright, yeah, so we've seen that from Relkin. They both have the Swamp Small Key now. Relkin, let's see, does he have the Skull Big Key? He does. So he's going to bomb jump here for the big chest. That's good, that should be good. Ridley's going to turn in his flippers. Going straight for Hobo first, so this will be his Moon Pearl. And then he'll get something useless from Zora and his Fire Rod. Not sure why Relkin skipped that chest the first time. Oh, I guess he's more comfortable getting the mummy out of the way when coming from the south. No, he's comfortable from any direction if you're just going to fire rod him. I'm not sure why he did that, but okay. Oh, he didn't turn before dashing, so he picked up the pont instead of starting his dash. Relkin's going to go somewhere. He has got the hammer and glove now. He is not going to do the Zora area. He's going to hope to batch that with catfish. Gotta watch out for that bird. There we go. Dark Sanctuary. This is a hint. We've got one of the entrances to Paradox Cave, the one that we haven't seen at the at Hype Cave. We've got the Dark Lumberjack Hut. This is an entrance that can also be forgotten. It is a hint. That's not a very good hint, but it is a hint. We've got Mimic Cave here at, I believe, either the Bomb Shop or dark north of Lake Hylia. We'll see in a minute. Mimic at Swamp. Okay, close enough. Bonk Rocks. I don't think this was any... Actually, I think this was skipped. This is a hint. Ridley was in the area but skipped this. Also not useful. But a fairly efficient overworld clear here with the mirror. Being able to do things in tandem. Here's a connector. Yeah, he's gonna take this. I think I would have checked the proximate entrances, the King's Tomb and the Graveyard Ledge before doing this. Just so I could commit to the connector. I think we got a hint that this was a cave with a chest. Fortunately, it's a cave behind a lot of spikes with a chest, so... Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and do it. Again, I think I would have checked the proximate entrance, the other Dark World entrance on the bridge before doing this, and then saved and quit out of here. Okay, but he intends to... I guess he's gonna use his pot and leave. I don't think he's going to be able to walk out with this combination of health and magic. He's going to have to use his potion. Alright, so I was focused on Relkin there. I sort of missed what was going on in Ridley's side. We've got Berna there on Stumpy. Relkin's going to go back through this connector to where he was on the overworld. Got new checks going on over here on Ridley's side. Relkin has not been in this area of the world yet. The library with nothing. Alright, so the Spectacle Rock item was at the Super Bomb shop. That was not an interesting item, I don't think. We're getting a graveyard exterior and interior checks on opposite sides of the screen. Got one pod key there in the ferry. Got a Misery Mire key, but in this seed, Mire is at Ganon's Tower, and so that means it must be a pendant dungeon, and it is extremely unlikely we will ever go there. Got a big key at the digging game. It is for Ice Palace. Relkin has the hint that Ice Palace big chest is nothing. And Ridley, I don't think has that hint, but it won't matter because he's got the big key, so he'll be able to go in there when he wants with the confidence of being able to full clear. He does not mirror at the race game because we have already actually exited at the race game. And we got the Hera Big Key from the Mazed Race. So Ridley now probably going to go north through the hammer pegs here. We've got nothing interesting at the vanilla rare shop. K45 north of Dark Lake Hylia. Relkin heading to the village of outcasts, which we have not seen yet. Alright, so we've got the other side of the old man save warp in the village of outcasts. That's actually fairly useful. Relkin, seeing that, looks like he's going to save and quit right away. Has he seen the front of this? He has not, and that's why he did it. So he just wanted to see where that exited. I actually think he would want to actually mirror there and go through Bumper Cave to Full Clear Eastern. That is good access to Eastern for him. But having save and quit, he will now continue on his overworld route where he was. Gonna mirror here. This is Desert Final. He can beat this now. Ridley, I'm afraid, did not mirror at the top of the pyramid. Did I miss him doing that, or did he just skip it? Now, that's unfortunate. We've got Skullwood's Final up there. I don't think there's anything interesting in the one chest, but he is forgetting it, which is concerning. So Ridley may not have seen the other exit to Paradox Cave. This is... No, he must have. This is where he got his bow, and he just realizes that at the same time I did. No, I'm sorry. I have that mismarked. He saw it at Hype Cave. So he knows where all those exits. He's going to get his lamp from Catfish and Fire Rod from the Zor Ledge, most likely here. So we have our first crystal for either runner at 116. That is not strange. I think we were talking about it, and a median, or rather the mode for the first crystal might actually be 90 minutes in this mode. That is the most common single time to find your first crystal. So we're actually ahead of schedule by some counts. Thieves Town. Do we have the big key for this? Relkin does. I don't think Ridley does. I forget where that was. We do not have the small key, so unless Relkin happens to find it in here, or if it's actually locked in the big chest, he's going to have to orphan that chest, which can be a bit awkward. He may actually only do the front foreign mirror. That sort of seems... Well, he's got the save warp right there. And that could change his decision-making. That could either make him think that it's not too bad to go back to, or it could make him feel that it's easy enough to come back, and he will just wait for the small key, and that's what he does. So he's got the save warp right next door. Come back here anytime. He will wait for the small key and not risk orphaning the big chest. We're going to do the brewery here. We have seen, I believe, Ridley come out of this entrance. Yeah, Desert Right. Ridley finds the Turtle Rock big key, the big chest entrance, and maybe does not know the bomb jump. That is sort of a awkward bomb jump to the big chest. Very hard to do if you don't know it coming in there. So Relkin now going to go south. He'll do the dig game and then the smith, and then pick up the smith most likely. He's going to get his Ice Palace big key from the digging game. He knows it's not useful. The smith is at the chicken hut, so I imagine he'll turn that in right away and grab the purple chest with the hammer pegs and do the traditional carry the purple chest to the south route. So Ridley is missing the mitts out of Pod, which is on Dark East Death Mountain. He's going to have to, I believe, go through Spiral Cave yet again to get there at all. I think that might be our only access up there. Without the mitts. Yeah, that is the only way he's going to get the mitts. I'm not sure we've actually seen anything behind the mitts. I think this might be our first chest hard lock behind the mitts. Or our first item, rather, with the smiths. Not useful. I did not see... You know what? That's not true. I think all of Ganon's tower is locked behind the mitts. I don't think we have a connector that exits into the mire area. So those mitts are pretty important. Relkin not yet tempted to go back to Ganon's tower. He's both been on a overworld route, a sort of continuous overworld route. He intends to get back to Eastern at some point with that bow. That was the whole purpose of one of his moves there, to save and quit. He's not going to pick up the purple chest right now. I'm a little surprised by that. Maybe he just wants to dash through and he'll do the purple chest later, knowing that he has that save and quit right there in the Village of Outcasts. He can just mirror and flute with the purple chest later. Be a little bit faster, I think. Alright, so we're getting the Dark Ice Rod Cave area. The potion shop was there, and 2 useless entrances. So that's where we need to go to turn in our mushroom when we find it. Alright, now Relkin's going back for something. He may have actually just forgotten the purple chest. Maybe he intends to mirror and flute with it later, though. Mirror and flute with it now and do the rest of the Dark World, South Dark World later. A little bit of an awkward route, if that's what he meant. So I think he's made a small mistake here in terms of efficiency, but not too bad. Alright, so Ridley now cleaned the pod area. I don't think he's been here at all. Gets Hype Cave. I don't think this was actually anything interesting. Got a bottle and a shovel. The shovel's the other thing in here. We're about to see what the shovel turns into. Sick Kid did not turn into anything. And neither does the shovel, so 0 out of 10 Hype Cave for those counting at home. Although Relkin did make use of that blue potion. Purple chest is also nothing. I believe our trackers are updating the tracker as the runners find the information, so Relkin now has the information that Mire is a pendant, and the pod, and turtle rock heart crystals. So I think we got Mimic Cave with nothing. Well, Blue Man isn't quite nothing. Pod entrance is nothing. Relkin's going to mirror to his drained item. I don't think Ridley has seen this. Not sure Ridley has drained the dam at all, actually. So this is a Paradox Cave entrance here at Hype Cave. And then we've got the... Yeah, that sounds right. Tracker, or one of our trackers is pointing out that the desert final entrance was the dam, and that is locked behind Mitts. I think we have... I'm not sure we know for sure that's locked behind Mitts, because we can't open the Mire entrance, and that could actually be a connector. So, 85 minutes in, still no sword for either runner. For those of you rooting for us to have to go into Ganon's Tower to get to Mire, somewhat more likely at this point. Still not especially likely. Okay, so Ridley now is going to remember to mirror at the top of Pyramid. And no sword won't let him beat Mothula, but he will be able to get this one chest here in Skull Final. So one of our trackers is suggesting that we have actually exhausted all the possible connectors. And it may not be possible for a connector to exit at Mire. So that would confirm that a lot of things, namely Ganon's Tower and the dam, are Mitts-locked. So Relkin's going to find nothing except the potion shop. Right, so we still have one connector exit outstanding, possibly. Yeah, Ridley, unfortunately, is going to be reminded he needs a sword to get to Mothula. So, Relkin now, where's he headed? Perhaps to the... Right, so the Ice Palace entrance. We have not seen this yet. And then likely a save and quit, and then likely full clear of Eastern. Or not. Another reasonable thing for him to do here is head back to Mire and do some bomb jumps on the left side of Ganon's Tower. Alright, he's not going to do any of that. Not sure. Maybe he intends to go up here through... This is his way to get to Bumper Cave. It'd actually be faster for him to Save and quit to the old man and then mirror. But he might be. This might be the play on Eastern here. The long way around. Yeah, he's going the very long way around. This would have been much faster to save and quit to the old man exit at Laser Bridge and then just mirror to get down here. But now he's headed for Eastern. And Ridley's going to clear out the village of outcasts. We did see Relkin mirror here earlier after checking the first 4. Ridley, I don't believe, knows that in fact, I don't think he's rescued the old man at all. So he might be more tempted to clear this, orphaning only the big chest. So Relkin gets another mail upgrade. Sadly, it does not come with the fireballs that the color of his clothes suggest. Oh, Ridley does not even have the Thieves Town Big Key, our tracker's pointing out, so whatever his level of temptation to finish Thieves Town now, he cannot do it. So he'll see the old man save warp here. It looks like he doesn't recognize the cave. You have to walk through it to verify it. Don't think we've seen anything interesting in Eastern yet. Relkin goes back for the hint here. Alright, crack on the pyramid leads to a connector. If our tracker is correct, that confirms that is the last connector entrance that we have not seen, and that the mitts do indeed lock everything in the mire and desert area. Got the mire big key out of the Eastern big chest. That is, as we've said, unlikely to be useful given that mire is at Ganon's tower. Alright, so are we getting hosted by ZSR1? If that's the case, it might be worthwhile going over the situation in this race. Alright, I will go over the situation in this race once we get the ZSR1 host. And if somebody could tell me when that happens. So, we're going to be pretty low on things to do here. Relkin has cleared most of the world. His options are going to be bomb jumping the left side again is tower. It seems likely there's progression in pod at this point. We can also full clear Ice Palace. It's another thing that only Relkin can get to. That actually seems more likely than anything to have progression. Well, there we go. That is the hook shot on Armos. That is bad in many ways for RidleyDragon. Alright, so we have the Swamp Small Key, Hammer, and Hook Shot. We can full clear Swamp. We know it is a red crystal. That might be our next stop. Alright, so Hookshot Cave is at Eastern. That looks like where Relkin is headed. Or not. Yeah, this is actually a faster entrance here on West Death Mountain. Right here at the Descent Cave. So yet another pod key. I'm not sure the count. It looks like maybe 4 for Relkin. And I think he's actually used one. Maybe. No, I think not. So Relkin now... he has a couple good options. Swamp and Ice, he can full clear and orphan nothing. He can also go to Ganon's Tower and orphan the big chest. I do not believe we have the Ganon's Tower big key. Looks like Swamp is going to be the answer here. This is probably the least unappealing swordless dungeon, although Argus will be a bit of a slideshow. We have not been in here at all. That is 5 pod small keys. Yeah, so this is... Ridley's now doing Landmo. I think we actually got... I think this is actually where the Leavestown big key is. Oh, I missed that. Relkin is actually coming in here without the Swamp big key. That is not terrible. Alright, so now we're getting the Zelda speed runs host. I will go over the situation in this race. So early on, the mirror was at the Kakariko Well, and Relkin had that significantly earlier, and that led to a lot of things. He also Dungeon Bunny revived in Pod for the glove in the first chest, which was actually meant to be the mitts. So he had access to the Old Man Rescue Cave early, which was Sahasrara, which had the flippers, which led to Pearl at the Hobo. The intended glove was actually at the Desert Big Chest, and the Desert Big Key was at an available entrance. That was in Hyrule Castle. And you did need to go around a little bit with the mirror and hammer. The hammer was in Link's house to get to Mini Moldorm at the spot where you would mirror from the laser bridge for the Mini Moldorm cave. That got you the boots, which got you into Hyrule Castle, which led you on the chain to the Pearl. Ridley did not sequence that well. He got a bit unlucky, and he maybe forgot a little while about a couple things he could do. So Relkin has a significant lead here. The winner of this match will play the 12-seed Violet Pumpkin in the next round. So I did not get confirmation there that that was what the item was on Landmo. think that was something. So at this point, Ridley is missing the mitts, and he will be required to go through Spiral Cave at the Hyrule Castle Center entrance. Go all the way through to the floating island. Pod is up on East Death Mountain, and that Spiral Cave is the only way to get there without the mitts. And that's going to be in the first chest in Pod. The mitts... And we see there Canis Samaria on left side swamp. And as I was saying, the mitts lock a ton in the Maiar area. The Ganon's Tower is at Dark Agana. There is no other way to the desert area, and Ice Palace is in there somewhere. I don't actually know which entrance. I think we'll be seeing that shortly from Relkin. And he has to skip the Swamp Big chest. That's not terrible. Swamp is accessible. It is one of the entrances on the way to Swamp. On the way to Desert, excuse me. We had another interesting bit is that we have a hint that Meyer is at Ganon's Tower. Ridley has, I believe, skipped that hint. But it is unlikely we will ever be going into Meyer, although the longer we go now without a sword, the more likely it appears. We may have to go into Meyer for a required sword. Relkin has full crystal information. Ridley is quite a bit short in that department. He actually did not talk to the Super Bomb NPC, who tells you what your 2 red crystals are, so he doesn't have that information. So we're going to see Argus now, with the sword that was so likely to be here in Swamp. It's a very smashy sword. Blunt sword. And the lack of swords has been a bit of a problem. Ridley couldn't believe he didn't have a sword, so he actually went through the torch puzzle to the room with the vines you need to slash to get to Mothula without a sword. Relkin's doing a nice job with this Hammer Argus, getting 2 puffs with most of these hits. Yeah, we have no reason to beat Aghanim 1 at this point. We have a single item at the pyramid drop. I believe that's the Lumberjack. So, limited reason to want to go upstairs Ganon's Tower. I don't think we have the Ganon's Tower Big Key on for either player. There we go. That was actually very good phase 2. It is fairly difficult to get Argus. And there's the Ganon's Tower Big Key. So that makes Ganon's Tower much more appealing for Relkin. Interesting choice whether he wants to do Ice Palace Swordless, which many people do not like at all, versus Ganon's Tower, which he possibly doesn't ever need to go into. He needs... It's worth going over what he needs for Go Mode at this point. He knows where all the Light World dungeons are. He knows where all the Dark World dungeons are. So he does not need an entrance for a dungeon. And he only needs the Pod Big Key. It looks like he only needs the Pod Big Key and 2 swords for Go Mode. Ridley, meanwhile, he doesn't have the Thieves' Town big key. I don't remember where that was. Otherwise, he needs... Okay, yeah, that is one of the other unfortunate things here in this race. Eastern is at the Death Mountain Descent exit. In this seed, you need to go through Bumper Cave on East Death Mountain to exit at the Bumper Cave ledge. So that's a vanilla Bumper Cave exit. And you need to mirror there to get to Eastern. Ridley went through the bumper ledge, exited onto that ledge with the mirror, and did not mirror. So he does not know where Eastern is, and he appears to have forgotten to do that. So he's missing out on Eastern and his hook shot, which is on Armos. We have... Alright, so Relkin gets Trinix down there. This is not a swordless seed. This is just very, very unlucky. Oh no. Ridley is actually walking away from... Now I remember where the Thieves' Town Big Key is. Thieves' Town Big Key is at the Skullwood's final entrance. That is the Checkerboard Cave. So he is now walking away from a required big key. He may be headed somewhere required, though. He has... I can't imagine what he's going for up here, other than there's Sick Kid at the Spike Cave entrance, which he has not returned to. I guess that's what he's going for. Yeah, so Ridley could be running out of checks to do without the required things. He probably still remembers that he can go through Spiral Cave to get to Pod. So he probably has not forgotten that, but there's an unfortunate chance that he has forgotten some of the other things that he needs to do here. Yeah, so he found this and did not have the pearl at the time. Alright, so Relkin's now going to go to the Mire area. His options are Ice Palace or Ganon's Tower. And running this way, it looks like he's going to do Ganon's Tower first. And Ganon's Tower is here at Dark Agama. So he has only gotten the first two chests here. He looked at the torch. I forget what the torch was, but since I forget, it was probably nothing. Alright, so Ridley's running over here, and I think the only thing he could be running over to do is Bumper Cave. So this could get him to Eastern Palace. This could be what he needs. No, you can't do that without the mitts. Okay, so I think he may be thinking of getting to Pod, and now he needs to remember to go through Spiral Cave to get there. Yeah, and Spiral Cave is at the Hyrule Castle center entrance. So he's going for... No, he's not. Alright, he's going through Hyrule Castle here. I forget the two exits. Oh, he has not done the bottom of Escape. Is that right? Yeah, he has done the bottom because he had to get his desert big key to get his glove. So I'm not sure where he's going. Right, this is Desert Right. And where do I have... Yeah, this could only be for Dark Cross, because none of these exits to Hyrule Castle are interesting. Hyrule Castle Right exits at the Waterfall Cave, which he has seen. So this is nothing in here. This is bombs or something. And we have our first sword at hour 49 in the randomizer room. That's probably what he was waiting for to do, otherwise full clearable crystal ice. Yeah, so let's see, they both have, yeah, okay, so yeah, Ridley is now making the move. He is going through Spiral Cave. This will get him to the floating island. He drops down from there, and the top of Super Bunny Cave is Pod. That will get him his mitts in the first chest there, and that will give us our first look at any chests beyond that first chest. Relkin, I do not believe, has... Actually, I don't think that's true. I think Relkin has done a bit of Pod. I'm not sure how much. I don't think he's been to the back. There is our Pod Big Key. All right, so that's required to go to Ice Ramos. Alright, our tracker is saying he has not been back to Pod at all. That's a little strange to me because he was in that part of the world and just chose not to then. Alright, so Ridley now in Pod. This will be the mitts in the first chest for him. Relkin had this chest in the first 10 minutes of the game. I think. Very early. Yeah, Relkin doing the tile room. This is a slow check, and he is only one item from go mode. He only needs another sword. I don't think this is the right move to clear the tile room in this situation. That shows what I know. So he is... Yep, so Relkin is in go mode. I do not think there's anything he could need at this point. I am not sure he knows it. He may not be comfortable with Master Sword, or maybe... maybe he at least thinks it's worth this extra minute to check these 4 chests for another sword. So Relkin now in go mode. We'll see if he knows it. I think he has done the first chest in ice. So he shouldn't continue to this small key if he knows he's in go mode. Alright, so I don't think he realizes he's in go mode. Right, meanwhile, I don't think we've seen anything interesting in these pod chests. Relkin may be realizing he's now in go mode. He may be it. Alright, so he is now headed to Village of Outcasts. Thieves Town is here. And he did the first 4 and left, given that the save warp was nearby. So now that he's coming back here, I think this means he knows he's in go mode. He has not got the... Yeah, he still does not have the Thieves' small key. So he's coming back here knowing that he's orphaning a chest, so I think he knows he's in go mode. So unfortunately, Ridley is in the back of pod here, which Relkin will never do. He gets a map. He does not have full crystal information, so those maps are useful to him. Relkin not going to check the hint. Further suggestion that he knows he's in go mode. Alright, we also have a hint that the Turtle Rock main is nothing, so that's why Ridley is not going there. He's going to go straight for the mire area now. And he will remind me where Ice Palace is. It is in one of these entrances. I just think this first one here. Nope. He's also going to find the dam, which he has not found yet. That is at the desert boss entrance. Oh, and a big key here. Yeah, this is something. This might just be Skull Woods. Yeah. So this is the dam here. He needs this. He forgets the mirror block erase glitch there. Ganon, where's Ganon? Ganon is in the Kakariko well drop. I believe boots were logically required in this seed as our only logical access to Hyrule Castle in the beginning to get the Desert Big Key, to get the glove, to get the flippers, to get the pearl. Yeah, so boots were logically required in this seed. Relkin skipped that requirement by Dungeon Bunny reviving in pod to get that glove in the first chest, which logically should have been his mitts. Alright, Vulcan now has all 6 pod keys. He can do anything he wants in pod, but Relkin checked a couple extra chests, but those were all on the way, so we still can't quite be sure whether he knows he's in go mode. I think he knows. But if what he does in pod or ice, which... he also needs Mothula. Mothula is at the pyramid. He may be going for that now. So still not going to be quite sure whether he knows he's in go mode, but what he does in pod or ice will tell us. Oh, he doesn't need to do ice. I have my crystals mixed up. Alright, so what he does in pod will tell us. Although at this point he almost has to know he's in go mode. Yeah, so Relkin only ever checked the first chest in ice, which was nothing. So he's going straight to Mothula. He's setting himself up for Master Sword Silverless. I wonder how much he'll do in pod. Because our tracker has suggested, and I don't remember for sure, but I think he has only done the very first chest in pod, so it'd be interesting if he goes at least through the right side to Helmsor to try to pull a sword on the way. So So the move Ridley, meanwhile, needs to make here is he needs to go through Bumper Cave, which is on East Death Mountain. Needs to mirror at the Bumper Ledge to beat Eastern. Armos has the hook shot, which will get him... Well, it's logically required for Swamp, so he needs to do it. It's also Oh, it's hard required for Swamp. There we go. Then we have the silvers on Mothula. That will probably tempt Relkin to get almost all the remaining chests. Ridley has actually seen this entrance. This is Desert Right, I think. Yeah. Alright, so then Relkin's going to go through Spiral Cave here to get to Pod. This is probably the fastest way. Yeah, no other good access, I don't think. Yep, this is probably the fastest way. And this is a good route. Good way to do it, to do Skull into Pod this way. Yep, and he was only opened the one chest. We'll see what he does here. Probably going straight to Helmasaur. And this is this his last crystal? It is. So this is going to be a good time for him. He's not even opening the chest. I think that's a little silly. I would have opened that chest. But he does have silvers. So Ridley going for the second chest in Aghanim's Tower. I don't think we've actually seen this. So Relkin's going to end up with a very good time here. The main factors for that are never really having to go into ice, no progression in pendant ice at all. He did get the first chest, but he wasn't really tempted. And then Meyer is locked behind Ganon's tower, so you're never going in there as long as you get 2 swords, and he got the second sword just in time. And he never went... Did he? Yeah, he did. Yeah, Ice Armos is required. A required big key is behind Ice Armos. And that must be the Thieves' Town big key, because I think... Or it could be the pod key. Either way, there is a required big key behind Ice Armos. And unless Ridley knows the bomb jumps... Yeah, pod big key behind Ice Armos. Oh yeah, I had said that. So... Are those the only 2 big keys? Yeah, so the 2 big keys that Ridley needs are the Thieves' Town big key, that is at Checkerboard Cave, at the Skullwood's final entrance. And the pod big key is behind Ice Armos. He actually could get Samaria to get to Ice Armos in Swamp if he dives without the hook shot. It's going to be a bit late, though, as Relkin is now dropping into Ganon. Well, he's going to go for Samaria strats. This is difficult to do, especially if you don't know it. You have to... I don't actually know it. I think you have to walk into the block as you spin, or else you don't get it. Yeah, he's doing it, though. He's getting double hits with those Samaria spins. I should learn this. That's a good position. He won't have to use Samaria at all, except probably cape through and then do him. So Ridley may now be headed to his Leave Sound Big Key. He's using up quite a bit of magic. I don't know what he has in his potions. In his bottles, rather. Whether he has potions in his bottles. He's only going to really need to light the torch twice with the lamp, though, with silvers. He's on to phase 3. He's past the difficult part of this fight with Master Sword. He does not... Okay, so he has a blue potion. This isn't going to matter. So not getting torch glitch won't matter. He should be able to just spin here and... Uh-oh. This should be it. And he just needs to walk across a bridge here. Alright, so Relkin finishes in first place with an official time of 2:06:04. And according to the bot, that is a PB by 8 minutes and 40 seconds for him. And we get a forfeit from Ridley as he finds his Thieves Town Big Key. So we will see if we get these guys in for interviews. Yeah, so the story was the early sequence breaks for Relkin, getting that glove out of pod, and then earlier mirror getting to the Kakariko well at the useless ferry early, allowing him to be significantly more efficient in his overworld route, not having to double dip a lot of things. So we will get Relkin in for... Okay, it looks like we're joined by RidleyDragon, and Relkin will be joining us shortly.
This is the third time I'm ever running this category at all.
Third time you're ever running it. All right. Well, you're still not out of this. This is a double elimination tournament, so you're gonna have a position.
Oh no, I'm one more match from being out of this. No, I kind of entered the last second because I'm adminning it and it looked like fun. I'm gonna finish this seed, and I have a feeling that just got the stupid big key for Thieves Town, and I feel like that's gonna break open the seed now.
Well, I mean, do you want the answer?
No.
All right.
Or I don't care one way or another, but I'd rather just keep going. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it off stream to save some upload cap.
All right. So yeah, I'm not sure if you heard me, but the early thing Relkin did was get that glove out of pod.
Yeah.
He had that right away.
Yep. That took me forever, and that had me go into one single location forever and ever, and that's why I am 5 crystals behind.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to talk a little bit about things you don't know for
okay.
Relkin and the sake of the viewers here.
It's okay.
So let's see. We're still waiting for Relkin here. I think I want to... Let's see. Is he here? Yeah, you actually have to get in voice, Relkin. I can't drag in.
if I get a particular item from this, I'm probably gonna quit because I know what the rest of the season's gonna be like.
Well, I don't have you on Restream anymore, so I don't know what you're talking about.
From Thieves Town.
All right,
If I
so
get-
there's
if I get a-
Relkin.
If I get a hook shot at Thieves Town, that's I kind of know how the rest of the season's gonna go.
Yeah, you're not getting a hook shot out of Thieves Town.
Oh, then I am not gonna continue at all. Where the hell was the hook shot?
All right, well, let's go over that with Relkin here. So, early on, Relkin, you had that glove out of pod right away, and that was a big difference.
Yes.
So, that got you your flippers to Moon Pearl right away, or relatively early, and then in combination with the mirror out of the well earlier, you were able to do a lot of things in tandem.
Yeah, that was actually really convenient because it was the very first thing that the game lets you do, which is ride in Hyrule Castle main. Since I was the end of one string of things I was going to do, I just decided to pursue the Spiral Caves, and that led me to the Dark Death Mountain, which conveniently had pod, and so I decided, hey, let's just do a bunny revival and see what's in the first chest, and yeah, that's where that got started.
Yeah. So then, bit of a lull in the mid game there. There wasn't much going on. The required path to the first glove was those boots out of Mini Moldorm Cave, to bonk open to get into Hyrule Castle to get the Desert Big Key to get Vanilla Power Glove out of the Desert Big Chest.
Yeah, I did that pretty fast.
Yeah. And then
Well, I did nothing pretty fast, but I did that relatively fast.
Yeah, and then you had to go through Spiral Cave to ever get to those logical mitts in pod. That was the only way up there.
Where
And
was
then
the? I gotta know where the hook shot was.
All right, so
Alright.
Yeah, you go ahead and tell them, Relkin.
The hook shot was, I believe, it was on the Armos Knights.
Where was Eastern?
Eastern. Oh, you're gonna love this. So Eastern, you had to go through Bumper Cave, which the entrance to Bumper Cave was on the bottom right cave on East Death Mountain in the Light World.
I went through Bumper Cave.
Yeah, and then you needed to mirror once you got to the other side to get to that cave.
Yeah,
Okay, that's information I forgot about. Okay,
Yeah,
I was sitting there and I just missed it. I would never have figured it out. I didn't realize you could do that. Okay.
Yeah, that is a commonly missed move for new
We'll miss it
players.
now. Yeah, it's my
Yeah.
third time running this category at all. I really enjoy this on a lark. I fully expected to go 0-2 and get creamed here. So, that's good job.
So, other than that, you guys got, or maybe only Relkin got the hint that Meyer was at Ganon's tower, so you were never going to go in there unless you did not have a sword until late in the game, and you, in fact, were running low on places to look for a sword at the end there. In fact, I was saying, and people in chat were saying, we would have skipped the Ganon's Tower tile room. And that was your go mode, actually, I think.
Yeah, that was really funny how that turned out.
Did you know you were in go mode right away with that sword?
Yes, but I wanted to look in just in case on the right side to see if there's another sword or silvers.
Yep. And then you got silvers out of Mothula.
Yeah, that was really funny. Oops, sorry. There we go.
Yep. So you have, is that your, or the SRL bot is saying that you got a PB by 8 minutes there, is that right?
Yes, that is in fact a new PB.
All right, good job.
Thank
See,
you.
is there anything else about the sea? There was a lot going on. There wasn't really much of interest. I mean, there's that cane on the left side of Swamp that was not that interesting, but that's where it was.
I had one crystal and one pendant. This wasn't that all that close. Although again, if I remembered the stupid Eastern thing, it would have been a lot better, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it was really a couple small things that really snowballed. Like having the early glove made a huge difference. Having the mirror in Dark World earlier made a huge difference. So, and then of course, forgetting the mirror move
Yeah,
there at the top of Bumper Cave was critical. All right. So, you have anything else about the seed that you remember, Ridley?
No, I just learned something new. That's all.
Yeah.
Happy about that.
You might have. I think you skipped. I was worried about you skipped the mirror at top of pyramid. At least your first pass there.
Yeah, I realized it afterwards, and I don't have a camera on, but you'd see me kind of cursing myself out, saying, "Oh, this is entrance randomizer, dummy. Need to go into those." And then I had a moment early on in the seed where I forgot where Spiral Cave was.
Yeah, we thought
So I
you might have
started
been.
looking around before I realized, oh wait, no, I noted it as at the entrance of the castle, and I ignored it because I put a note there.
I see. We thought you might have been looking for the bottom of Paradox Cave. I think you found that while looking for Spiral Cave. Is that right?
No, yeah, I was looking for Spiral Cave because I saw the bow on the floating island. And if I could have routed that correctly, I would have gone through there quickly, got the bow, and then mirrored up and be where I wanted to be to search for doors in Eastern Death Mountain.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, Relkin, you have anything else?
Please pay no attention to the fact that I'd forgotten to grab the fire rod after checking King Zora.
Oh, I'm afraid I did pay attention to that.
Yeah, that was an oopsie moment right there.
And then after Laser Bridge, it looked like I thought you were going to
Try and kill Trinex. Yeah.
yeah, but then weren't sure whether how late you realized it and whether you just wanted the magic refill.
Yeah, it was just for the magic refill, but of course a couple deaths happened along the way trying to do it, so it took some more time than I wanted.
So I'm seeing in the bracket that you are going to get the 12 seed Violet Pumpkin next, Relkin, in the winner's bracket in round 2.
Yeah, it should be a hard one. It's gonna be a good one, I think.
And I will be murdered.
I don't see where you're. I don't quite see right away where you're.
It feeds in from people who don't have to play in the first round. It
Right,
feeds in
but
somebody who has they don't have a bye, but they have well, they do have a bye. They're 2 second round people playing each other.
Right.
So
Well,
we're
I'm not
talking
seeing.
about like seeds in the 20s.
All right, so I don't see it right away, but it's there somewhere where who you're gonna face
Yeah.
in the losers bracket. So good luck to both of you in the next rounds. Although
you.
it sounds like Ridley, you're looking forward to losing.
I had no listen. This is the third time I'm doing this. I had no doubts what was going to happen here.
Yeah. You at least did not forget anything forever, I don't think, except maybe you're saying the mirroring to Eastern.
I would have never. Yeah, I would have never done that.
Yeah. All right. All right. So good luck to both of you in the next rounds. I think that's going to be it for us, unless you have anything else you guys want to say.
Good luck, Relkin.
Hey, thanks, man. GG's. Good race. Hope you're having fun this tournament at least.
Yeah, no, it's super fun. I didn't have any illusions I was going to win. All right.
All right, so good game to both of you. We have one more race today at 7 o'clock Eastern. It will be Jinxie Girl versus Master Slowpoke on ZSR. That'll be Walthred and Magnificent on comms.
That is
So tune in for that one.
That'll be the last ALttPR race of the day, but we do have a few other things going on as well. If you are inclined to stick around here on ZSR2, later on in the day, we will also be having the Ocarina of Time randomizer accessible weekly here.
Yeah. And then in terms of this Cross Keys tournament, we have, it looks like, 7 matches tomorrow, a packed schedule. I don't know a link for that in chat. But it's around on the Zelda Speedruns Discord. you can get there. You can bring up that schedule. So if we have nothing else, Lost Pirate, you want to tell us anything else going on Zelda speedruns? I will sign off here.
Yeah, like I said, coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UTC here on ZSR2, we have the OOTR Accessible Weekly North America. And an hour later at 7 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UTC, over on ZSR, no suffix, we've got Guy Next Girl versus Master Slowpoke in another A Link to the Past randomizer tournament match. So, we hope to see you at one place or the other later today. Enjoy your time here, folks.
All right, good game again to both our competitors, and thanks everybody for watching.